So you saying
Yes,
who is 33 right now, each?
32.
32.
So, one of the revelations that I had for myself, and I know that you guys have heard me talk about the way the evolution has happened with me with the knocking out of my front teeth, right? And how my initial reaction was going from dentist to dentist, from dentist school to dentist school, trying to figure out how to get them fixed, how to get something in my mouth, and paying, for this kind of estimate that. And my spirit asked me to stop. My spirit says, stop. This is not a conversation about your teeth. This is looking at why your soul would create this event at this time and what it's bringing up for you. So I had to sit with it, right? Because $20,000 was out of my reach, first of all, to go and get some cosmetic surgery done. So one of the things that has come up for me is healing the adults in my childhood, like healing my relationships and what happened. Well, just the other day, I had another aha moment where I realized that I had made a pact with my body in my childhood to destroy myself. And that pact did not come from me. That pact came from the way that the adults were treating me and my family. The worthlessness. There was no value. There was lots of neglect. There was no attention. There was no touching. There was no love, right? So I was like, wow, I have to reverse that pact. I have to literally own the preciousness of my own life, my own existence, my own soul. And I have to let my soul know that I am worthy of its love and my love for myself, that I get that. And so even though, the practice of eating right and all of that is what you have to do, but it's still outside of the preciousness of really getting that I am worthy. So when we're teaching our children, do this because I said so, or you're supposed to do it, that's not the same. I mean, I want y'all to really see something. Notice how European women are taught to groom and nurture themselves and be with themselves. How Korean women go to the spas, and you have one level that does the washing and cleaning, and then you have another level that does the whole cultural piece, right? The whole beautification piece. We don't do that. We're literally workaholics. We literally have been taught to run our bodies to the ground without respect for it, without honor for it, for the life that it is. So there's something that we really must put in the space for ourselves so that we can put that in the space for our children. Can y'all hear that? Does that bring up anything for anybody? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense because they mimic what we do. And if they see us not taking care of ourselves and respecting our bodies and ourselves in all aspects, and that has been a huge lesson for me with having watching her watch me.
Girl, I'm telling you, my daughter literally grounded me in the conversation of beauty. I had no concept of it until I had a daughter. So I know why I got a daughter. I do. I'm clear about it.
Yeah, I feel that too. I didn't, I didn't grow up thinking I was pretty or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize that I until I saw my daughter.
Yeah.
Because we look very similar.
Yes.
Her, I didn't even see any beauty on me, the physical, because, I grew up with of sarcasm and green eye monster and too bright. So those things, if you don't get anything outside of that from your home, you don't grow up with the self-esteem. So it took me a while to even learn that. So having her made me realize that even more, that I still had work to do.
So that's the exact point that we get to take in when we talk about the mirror work. Every time it shows up out there, it's in my face for me to see. Like, I don't have to correct that situation as much as I need to look at myself and see why that's showing up. I mean, that gives you so much power. I mean, I don't know. Did you all see the other day when Greg was posting that he was going to speak in New York? Did you all see that? He was going to speak in New York on Saturday. And then he went to the airport on Friday, and he said, oh, they just paid me $800 to give my seat and get the next flight. So he gave, he got the $800, gave up his seat, went to get a flight. 5 flights after that were all canceled. So he ended up not going to New York, right? So then the next Saturday, he starts texting me. I haven't talked to Greg in at least a month, right? He texts me and he says, I'm working on this, this, and this, and this. And what do you think about this and this and this? And he said, yeah, I ended up not going to New York, so I'm going to do this kind of work. And I just wanted to get your input. So after we finished, doing that work a little bit, I texted him. I said, now, why did you have all of those airlines canceled? Right? And he took a minute, didn't come right back, and he said, I am tired of talking about the same stuff all the time, and I just didn't want to go. I said, so I want you to get that and own that. That's the power that we are.
Our intentions.
That's our power going out into the universe. And we keep acting like shit happens to us. Oh, that happened. No, we literally get to create an amazing life. And this is what the work is about, bringing our subconscious conscious so that it's not stuff that accidentally happened, so that when it shows up, it's like, oh, okay, let me work on this.
Creating that magic.
Yeah, instead of resisting and running and hiding and crying. I mean, my first response used to always be to cry. My little sensitive self, my little sister. I mean, I grew up a crybaby. No freedom to cry at all because I was a crybaby, but I always cried, right? So it's like, now I just cry when I'm moved. It's not because I'm dealing with an issue. You
can I?
Yeah.
It's because you allow yourself to be emotionally free.
Yeah.
Icha gave me I was going through something last week, and the sisters, we had all went out, and 3 of them I was trying to contact, couldn't contact them, so I started getting a little worried. One of the sisters, 3 of her children are in the class. And so on the Thursday, I talked to draw your search. She said within 24 hours, within 3 hours, I mean, as soon as I finished, one of the sisters called me as soon as I finished, like 5 minutes. And all of them contacted me within 3 hours of that time. So, when you have that proof, it gives you much more inspiration.
Yeah, and we have to remember, and you know what the thing is, Yusha, here's where you got courage in that moment. You knew to reach for somebody to help you out.
Yeah.
See, because what we literally do, we stay in the space and more shit gets in the space. Now the more shit that gets in the space is going to take longer to work it out. Whereas when you see like, okay, bam, I'm not working this through. Let me get some help because I'm cloudy. You see? And even if you don't reach for help, reach for your tools. Go sit in the tub, go meditate, go outside, but don't stay in the bullshit. See, we're so used to handling stuff. Handling and fixing it is not the same thing. You got to clear your space, you know, and then the flow comes into you, you know.
I give thanks.
So, all right. So now let's talk about this week. This week is all about the brain. Have you guys? It's been very quiet out there. I haven't seen any like CC. Is CC still playing with us, Marlene?
Yes.
Okay.
She is I talked to her and Zach on Monday. Sekou called me and we had a good talk. London, as I say, is Wi-Fi-less, so we're talking on. She friended me on Facebook, so I could put her in the group. But so we talked. But yeah, of course they're participating. They just be about it. They doing what they doing, and Zach and Cece are communicating well. I sent Sekou London's info, and vice versa for Lyndon and Sekou. So all is well. Everybody has their lessons, and I don't have no complaints, concerns, or considerations. Zach didn't receive his as scheduled on Monday, and he texted me immediately and told me he didn't receive it. So we went through his email correction and everything, and I thanked him. So yeah, I'm happy. We are happy.
You know, it's so interesting because when I went through the course, right? When I went through who is that? Making all that noise. That you?
Nini.
Hey, Mimi. Hey, Nini, is that you? Okay. When I went through session 2, you know, did y'all go through it? Because that, you know, I was like, wow, this kind of heavy duty.
Well, Cece already knew because I asked her what she knew, if she what level, which hemisphere was she, and first she the right hemisphere. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, you'll find out some more interesting, in-depth information in
Yeah,
this
because
particular.
actually, when they go through that part, they learn to be, you know, both. That's the idea.
To balance,
Yeah,
right?
to
To
actually
balance,
know that
yeah.
they have access, yeah, to both, and they may take in information at one level and, you know, different levels. Because you know, when I'm in the corporate world, I show up as a left brain. When I'm over here, I show up as a right brain. So it
Right.
you know, it kind of depends on what you're doing. So that's what we want people to have access to, because that's how they tap into their genius factor, to be able to know, you know, and then to know when I have an idea, instead of trying to work that idea out in the left brain, I'm going to imagine its completion in the right brain.
Right, but you know, when most people start, they do not realize seeing the end before you begin.
No,
You know, will
that's what this
assist
is.
you.
That's very good, Marlene.
Yeah.
That's what this is. And this process is getting them to that point in this course, you know. So, all right, what about anybody else? How your people doing?
Well, 2 of my people, I spoke to Princess and Tia. They both chose numbers for buddies, and everybody else I haven't heard from.
So, have you put them in the group? So, are they in our ACES page, Princess?
Ones that they're on Facebook, the ones I can actually
So
you can email
no,
the
no, no,
link to
no,
them.
no. You can email.
I added Jatoria. That's Princess, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. I added her to the group.
And I was
3 of
going
the
to
people
say,
that I'm friends with, I can add them.
no, but also there's a column that tells you who's connected to those people. as a Master Force coach, you can ask them for help with your people too. You know that on the roster, there's a column that say Master Force affiliate, like who brought those people into the course. Those are your contacts. When you can't reach somebody, you know, and you can't reach their parents, you go back to the person that invited them to participate so that they can know what's going on, because they're the ones that brought them in. These aren't strangers.
Yeah, and we already been, because one of them a sister, one of them is a sibling of Marlene. Yasmin, I reached out to her. I'm trying to see who else. Teresa, right?
Yeah.
I didn't do it. Yeah, I didn't do it this week. Yeah. So I was trying. I get it because I was trying not to go into like, these are grown. I'm dealing with grown people, 18 to 20. So I was trying to give them the space of me not running to go and get people to nudge them like, hey,
you gotta
do this. I was trying to give them an opportunity.
18 does not make you grown.
No, when I say they think they are, that's what I'm saying.
Well, actually, yeah, I got you. But even if we react to them like that, you see, it's like it's because they're not grown. And literally, one of the ways that so Yasmin's mother is measuring how often her children talk to their mentors as to whether or not they're getting any benefit out of the class, right? So I talked to her this morning, and and you know, she's adamant, like, well, there's what they're not talking, like the youngest only talked to, she said she only talked to her mentor for 3 minutes. How could she get anything? And then the other one said all they do is text back and forth. And I said, this work is not for their relationship with the mentors. It's for their relationship with themselves. And the mentors are there to direct them to the work and then to be available if they have questions. This is not to do your work or to step in and be their partners. This is mentoring so that your children are guided to do the work and then to talk to their buddies. Now that's where they can develop a relationship. And then I also suggested that, you know, a lot of the children in the course have their own phones, their own email addresses, and they're not going through the parents, you know, so that, because she has 3 children in the course. She has Yasmin, who's 18. She has Zach. How old is Zach? 16?
16.
Yeah, 16. And
17. Zach 17.
Zach is 17. And then she has the baby girl who's 12. So she's trying to measure, you know, each one of them based on their relationship. So it's 3 different mentors that she's working with, that she sees, right? And, you know, and I had to tell her, Yasmin's relationship is going to be different from Layla's relationship with her coach mentor. So I don't know if she got it, but I talked to her.
I don't even talk to Yasmin. I mean, I've reached out, text, I tried to call, and but
she does her work, right? I mean, that's the thing.
Yeah, I got her. Yeah, she does her work. I haven't got a debrief from Tia, Princess, Shawnee, and Sophia. I still haven't talked to Sophia. I have not got everybody in the same room at the same time. Basically, I only have 2 people that chose numbers for buddies. And the video I posted yesterday was to, you know, just to remind them that I am a mentor. I'm not the one that they will get all the information from. They need to, you know, if they want to catch up on things or get the proper support, they get their buddies. I am not there, you know, we need to have a conversation, and it's still crickets. So I'm just, I guess that's what I'm going to have to do, reach out to the people that brought them in.
Yeah,
and have them talk to them.
Yeah, you might have to do, like, literally, until you have a relationship with somebody, like, I don't know if the videos will work because they don't feel connected to you yet.
Right?
Yeah, because even calling, that's one thing. We're calling, I call, and nobody answers the phone, so I get it.
Well, so let's look a minute. Let's look. You want to do some work just real quick? Probably take 5 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what is there for you when people don't respond to your reaching? What shows up for you?
Honestly, okay. I just keep going. You talk to me when you talk to me.
I don't get that that's honestly.
No,
Yeah, that's how that my reaction.
Okay,
Like
so I want you to go a
what?
little bit deeper. That see that right there is the ego talking. I want you to look deeper and see what do you feel when people do not respond to your reaching. Like really look.
Um,
And I said what you feel. See, you came back with what you do. I want you to know what you feel. What do you feel? Feel.
I don't feel anything. Or you like, what am I supposed to feel? That's what I mean. I'm like, what's the feeling supposed to be? Like,
So if you're not feeling, that says you're not connecting. See, that's the point. If we do things just to have to say that we've done it or to have, it's like hard for us to put 100% into it. Like
okay,
feelings are they can make us feel very vulnerable, but they're also a strength. Because if I can feel you, I can connect to you. I can energize you. You can energize me. But see, if we protect ourselves from feeling by only being in our head, we don't get any of that. We just go through the motion. You see that?
okay.
And it's easy to go through the motion because, again, we've been taught in school, get the work done. But the work is to actually connect to yourself and connect to your community. You see that? So
Right.
now, how do you feel? How do you feel when people don't respond to you when you reach for them?
I I don't get mad. I
No,
don't. I mean, I
you
guess
don't.
is that
No,
the
that's
problem because
good.
I don't
That's
feel.
wonderful, Lynn. That's wonderful. Let me
Yeah,
tell you how I feel.
yeah.
When I reach
Uh
out to
huh.
someone and they don't respond to me, I feel rejected. I feel hurt. I
Okay.
feel like they don't want to talk to me. I feel like I did something wrong. I feel like I'm alone. So all of those feelings have
Mm-hmm.
nothing to do with the person. That's just how I feel. So now inside of feeling that, I get to participate in a different way. I don't have to put the onus on that person to correct those feelings. I just have to
Mm-hmm.
be present to that's what I feel. But now I'm soft, I'm cushy, I'm open. I can feel them too because they may have some fear of connecting to me. They may be
Mm-hmm.
afraid. Adults, I work with a young man who thinks all adults on the planet are stupid except for me. He's told his parents that more than once. The only smart adult is Miss Stewart. He's been saying that for almost 10 years. I'm like, you got to stop saying that. But for him, that's real because the other adults are just saying, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, follow this path. So I want you to really do today some work on really getting in touch with how you feel. Like really check in all the time. If you don't know how you feel, your subconscious will literally like run havoc on your life.
Mm. Well, it's not that I don't know how I feel. It's just that right now. Because okay, so here's the thing. there's no emotional connection for me to feel like, how would I feel if somebody don't respond to me? These are different situations. So if someone that I don't know don't respond to me, I don't feel rejected. I just feel okay, they're not comfortable with me yet. That's how I feel. That's really, so my feeling about it is like, okay, how do I guess that's what you were saying with the softening up part. How do I soften up to reach out to them to feel more, I guess, accept more, what is it? Attracting that to seem like I'm just not,
Well, she's asking.
yeah, that's just like I don't fit
She's asking
because
you, Landy, to allow your vulnerability to be present with yourself and with them. Because if you're not connecting,
I get that. I get that. I get the vulnerability, but what you all are not hearing is like I'm the emotional part. There's no emotions in this right now,
And
so I didn't
Landy,
know there was an emotional
Landy,
connection.
but that's
I didn't know there was an emotional connection that needed to be had.
no, no, no,
That's what I'm
no, Landy,
saying.
you're
So
missing
that's the work.
that the point is that there's always emotion. We're just not present to it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it. It's not like there's nothing wrong here. It's
Yeah.
just we literally get to see for ourselves the barriers that we have up, and we don't even know it.
Yeah.
I didn't know I made a pact with myself to destroy myself. And then when I started looking at all the stupid shit I used to do, I'm like, well, damn, am I still
Right.
alive? Am I still alive? Like, I could have been dead. I'm looking back like, wow, I could have been dead so many times. I'm so protected because I had a pact, and the universe was like, here go this fool again. Let me snatch her ass up. You know, I wasn't present. But now,
you know, go ahead, Rita.
no, and so I'm just saying that one of the works we get to do in this particular place with the young people is to become more present, because our young people they don't feel us feeling them.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So I hear that. I hear that. Just like you have to, okay, because I'm thinking like, what do you mean emotional? Like this is not a thing to be emotional about, but I hear it. I see a difference
between emotion and being emotional. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But no, I hear what you're saying. It's just that I wasn't getting like, what am I supposed to feel when we just supposed to, but I get it.
Yeah, they don't feel us feeling them. We're just like everybody else that want them to get something done.
Yeah, got it.
You know, a long time
Go
ago.
ahead, man. Go ahead, Icha.
Can you please make the difference between emotion and being emotional?
Yes. So your emotions they literally are your expressions from your you can even say they're your expressions from your chakra centers, right? They're emoting energy, they're moving, they're your aliveness. That's what your emotions are. When you're emotional, that means that you're being moved by them without consciousness. When you're angry, when you're upset, when you're over happy, sometimes you can be over happy, you can be overstimulated. When you're so in love with somebody that you're not present to your own, all of that's a form of being emotional. There's no stability in that. But your emotions help to ground you in your body. Like your emotions, literally, like right now, I feel enthusiasm. I feel excited. One of my most favorite things to do is to do this with you guys. There's excitement, but there's also a sense of anxiety. There's a sense of anxiety because I don't want us to miss the opportunity for our own growth and development. Like everything is for our own growth and development. And until we get the mastery of our emotions and really use them as the tools that they are, we can't move anything outside of us. We can't move it. We can't, our intentions, we're not connected to our intentions. You see that? Our emotions is like our connection to our body, and it's what the power we use to speak things into existence. We get to bullshit with that power. So
I was going to interject when you get a chance.
No, go ahead.
You know, when you get done.
No, go ahead.
Short version is many years ago, I was in a training, and one of my mentors said to me, Marlene, you're unapproachable. And I'm like, excuse me? I'm approachable. I'm like, if they don't want to cross over the line on the other side, see what's on the other side, that's their fault. That ain't none of my problem. And he was like, you are mistaken. You are responsible for them being able to approach you or not approach you. It took me a long while to get that. And these were people that I was interacting with, but I didn't know them. You know what I mean? These are just people. That's how I held them, as people I'm interacting with and participating with. And once I dropped that persona and allowed myself to experience my experience, I apologize, but once I allowed me to experience my experience and how I was being when people did approach me, then I shifted. But if you don't see it, and if you don't know, and if you're not willing to hear what someone is saying to you, because I was a little stubborn, just a tad. So I just wanted to put that out there in terms of us being responsible for how people receive our energy.
That's really great, Marlene. And I want us to all really be clear that our stubbornness is what saved our lives. So sure. don't be so hard on yourself about it. It just no longer serves us anymore. You know, it serves us sometime, but we don't have to be as stubborn as we were growing up. Like growing up, we were growing up inside of some brutality. I mean, I remember when Landy and I really got that we were bullied our whole life. I mean, when we got it, it was like, damn, we've been raised up by some bullies. So if we weren't stubborn, we would have been crushed, which some people in our family were.
Yeah.
And they're dead now. You know, because they could not handle that, you know. So, yeah, stubbornness is not... it's not a bad thing. It's just that we don't have to go to that as a way of being immediately. Hey. Oh, that's Nene. You in the car with somebody? She must be in the car with somebody.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I know the main reason why we did this was to get the input of the teens. Just speak it in the conversation. Like from the first week, are we making any changes based on the teens' observations of the classes? Do we need to create some surveys to tweak it so we can get into their space so they can relate?
Not yet, because we have not got participation from them yet. So we're still working through that part.
Okay.
We have, out of the 17 people in the class, I think one has dropped out, and we've only gotten 5 debriefs, right? So we're fine-tuning our connection to see if we can open up to the space to make them feel welcome into this process. Because it's a different, man, let me say this, it is so different that they don't even know the greatness on the other side of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the debriefs, and you all get ready to read your debriefs now, of the ones you have, when you hear the debriefs, they love it. They're grateful for it.
I've seen some of them.
Yeah, they're really grateful for it. So they know what's there for them, and they're also used to another way of being. So we're representing something else. You know, just like how it took years for you guys to get used to me not being your authority. It took years. Years, right, Icha and Landy? Years. Okay? And to not think I'm supposed to tell you what to do, control you. I'm gonna put it in, and I'm not gonna punish you because you don't do it. I'm not gonna pull back because you don't do it or because you make a mistake. And you know, years. So 1 week is not gonna be the main. You know, I was telling that mother, I say, because the daughter said, tell Moot her program is not working. Ooh. I'm like, it's been 1 week, okay, and you gotta use it. The program doesn't work. You actually work, right? So, you know, but that's just where they are.
Makes sense.
And we don't have to take it to heart because we do know it works. We've had to do the practice ourselves. That's how we know it works. Right?
Very true.
Each of you got anything to put on that?
Yes, let me unmute myself. Okay, you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, what you're saying is so powerful inside of the energy of us learning how to correlate with our young people and how to allow our feelings to be the divinity of what they actually are. Our feelings and our expression are really leading us into a next level, a newness and a freshness that is so powerful and so potent. The revelations that have come that I am holding space for and sharing on our behalf energetically are so next level.
Mm-hmm.
And so the work that we're doing is so appropriate. And so, Alanda, I was looking at your energy today, and you have such a powerful energy that's going on. And so I can see how you are wearing that red today, rocking out that Tuesday Mars energy and getting us inside of the energy of moving forward. That Heru Kahuti is divine justice. And it just so happens that you're closing up your Mercury period being in a 7 of hearts.
Wow.
Getting ready to go into another period within the next 2 days. And so anytime that we're moving closely to switching into a next level, all chaos breaks loose. And the reason why is because we create out of chaos. When we blow the shit up, that's when we get an opportunity to create the next level of new freshness that does not yet exist. So we go into the deep dark, the triple black darkness out of which God calls itself to be in. That's where you at right now. And so I see it all over you. It's so clear with that red on, because initially I was going to wear the color for the day, but something told me wear the blue, bring the Tahuti into the energy. You know what I'm saying?
And something told me to wear my green.
There you go. I got that green up in here too. I'm rocking that green, blue, and that pink. So we bring the healing energy, we bring the love energy, and we bring in that Tahuti because we speak in divine truth in this instance. And we're on my Mercury day. And it's also that you are 2 of clubs today. So there is so much power in what it is that we're creating. You already know Timmy can't go. Is this correct? I know you better shake your head. Yes, you know Timmy can't go, right? All right, there you go. So then that's a silly inside joke from when Alanda and myself and Nene were traveling around Chicago. We went to the Oriental Museum. They call it it the Institute.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because it has a lot of our keys over there. So we were over there downloading the energy, getting the keys from over there. And so when we look at your card for today, Alanda, you are a 2 of clubs. Mm-hmm. All right. So that's my card. So we commune together, right? And you're naturally a 2 of spades. And my sister is a 2 of hearts. So we got these 2s locked up. We play poker. Yes. So we got 4 of a kind right now, right?
Mhm.
And oh, bring it in. Yeah, let the revelation. So this is the thing. The 2 of clubs is a conversation card. So on the high side, the 2 of clubs is the master of communication. On the low side, the 2 of clubs is the one who can bring an argument. So when you're doing
Mhm.
things such as law and legalism and stuff, to be able to bring an argument is a divine quality. When you're working inside of connectedness, community, and relationships, it's necessary to raise it to the highest vibration possible so that it creates communion for community. So that's the energy of what you're being present to. And that 7 of hearts is giving you the softness that you need to be able to put all of everything into place. Your red is representing your Mars day. So what you are doing right now, you are the embodiment of divine essence in movement. Okay. So in looking at that, anything that she are, we are. So that's where our circle of wealth comes in at the next level, because Alanda is representing Tuesday energy on a Wednesday. So she's bringing that energy there. And then I am bringing in the Thursday energy by wearing the Tahuti and the Ma'at colors, right? And then Shemsu bringing in the Venus energy, the energy of a Friday. So we're lining things up. This is just like you. I only just looked at what we're saying right now, just in a way of channeling the shamanism type work that I do. And so saying that to say, letting you know that we are in divine order. We literally, each and every one of us collectively and individuatedly are the embodiment of divine essence in motion.
Thank you, Isha. That is so pertinent and so true. And we're actually evolving every time that we come together inside of this growth and development. We're evolving not just ourselves, but the synergy of the team. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like really bringing it all up another level. So, Landy, while you're there, you want to read your debrief, and then we'll go to Aaron, and then we'll go to I don't know if Nene playing with us, Marlene. Do
Hold
you?
on. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to bring it back up because I closed out of it. I thought I copied it, but I didn't. I see. Hold on.
And the rest of you all get your debriefs ready.
Okay. All right. I had got the brief I got was from Yasmin, and she said during this session I learned that breathing can improve both the physical and mental state in my body. I learned from Dr. Hoppy that humans only use 5% of their breathing capability, and that controlling my breath can improve my physical body without exercising. How to use my breath to calm me down while I'm stressed or emotionally imbalanced. Although I knew this for the most part already, it was very interesting to learn that 2,000 breaths in 15 minutes. Okay, I'm sorry. Although I knew this for the most part already, it was very interesting to learn about the 2,000 breaths in 15 minutes concept. Also, to keep in mind that I have to be aware of the energy that I'm inhaling and releasing while I'm breathing. I took notes during the videos. I found the second video with Yasser Hotep most helpful for my breathing, while the first video with Dr. Happy was very informative. I also learned about myself that I benefit more from a quiet environment when breathing compared to an environment with music and imagery. Thank you for all the information. I am looking forward to the rest of your lessons. Thankful, Yasmin.
All right. What do you hear in that?
What now? I hear that she's doing the work. She's excited about it, and she's like what Cece did, achieving. This is what it sounds like, and this is how I'm gonna make it sound because this is what I got from it. I'm left braining these answers right now.
Exactly. That's
That's exactly what I'm hearing. I'm hearing left braining the answers.
and this again, right? This is again how education process. This is what we've taught our young people to do.
You hear that?
Yeah.
What you say, Isha?
She's a two of clubs.
Yeah, she's a two of clubs.
Oh, she's a two of clubs. Wow.
Yeah. That's a beautiful divinity. I love it. I love what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Wow, that's powerful. Yeah. So, yeah, and she's loving this work, so that's really good, you know. And what?
Who hung up?
Nene. And what was really,
Nene dropped off.
Yeah, what was really there for me was that I worked with her for about a year when she was 13, so I know that she knows how to breathe, right? But you can hear that she's taking in the information, right? So that she can expand it. And we're still waiting for her to get the application. But Teresa told me they did meditate and breathe together yesterday. So that's good. All right, who's next? Aaron, you got something?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Hopefully it doesn't drop out. It's a lot different doing this on my phone.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, because you're trying to go into it while you're on the phone, right?
Yeah, I can't do two things at once. All right, I got it. So mine is from Layla, which is Yasmin's sister, and I just want to say the debriefs are very similar. So I'm guessing that they did them together.
No, they did not.
They didn't?
Nope.
Okay, so it says, my debrief. I noticed the belly breathing, so... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm reading from a picture, you guys, so I'm trying to make it out. I noticed the belly breathing is a lot more calming than regular breathing, I think. I think this is because since I won't normally breathe like that, I tend to focus when I do it. So when I focus, I only think about the one thing I am doing and nothing else. Also, I found out breathing can get you through hard times, mentally and physically, like the doctor in the YouTube video. Another thing I noticed is it's not as calming when you're around people talking instead of being in a room alone, listening to peaceful music and breathing. So that was my debrief as our belly breathing workshop.
Okay, what do you hear there?
I mean, it seems like the breathing is new to her. Like, it doesn't seem like it's something that she's done before, but I see that she's applying it to different situations in her life. Yeah. As far as like when she talks about being around people talking or in a noisy room. So she is able to find her peace through the breathing. And I mean, it doesn't seem so left brain, like maybe a little, but it seems like she's more thinking like out loud on paper. That's what it reads as.
That's really great. The reason that I know they didn't do it together is because Teresa actually called me to see how she could send it in.
Okay.
And so, and she doesn't have technology. So this is one of those 12-year-olds who is literally using her mother's email account or whatever. And so when she asked her mother if she could send the email, her mother said she forgot her password. What? Right? Yeah. Her mother said she forgot her password, so she couldn't go into the account so she could send it. So I was the one that suggested that she writes it out and takes a picture. And she literally rewrote it so that it could be legible. Right? And so then when she sent it, I was like, well, I don't know what was legible the first time because I sure can't see this shit. Because she wrote it in pencil and it was so light. I mean, yeah. I had to blow it up like 5,000 times to see each word. but I was determined to read it. So I want you to hear that that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with parents who may not want their children to wake up. So there's obstacles in the way. And they put those obstacles in the way and then act like somebody else did something.
I think it's very interesting for me just to see the dynamic. Like I was telling you before, her mother reminds me a lot of my mother, and she reminds me a lot of myself when I was little, growing up in that situation. So
wow,
I can totally understand everything that's going on. It doesn't trigger me at all. You know, it's very comforting to me to know, like, I guess, to have the tools and to have the experience of what it was like for me to go through that, and just to hold the space for them. Because I know that her going through this course is going to give her a lot of the tools that I didn't have at that age to help better navigate that relationship.
Now, one of the things that why I wanted them in the Facebook group, because we have to remind them to breathe. See, if they're getting it like a lesson and not like a process or a technique, they're not breathing today. They did that last week. Go ahead, Icha.
I'm looking right now, and she's a queen of clubs. Are we talking about Layla McKay?
No.
Wait, which Layla is?
That 7 of Diamond Layla.
Oh, okay, very good. All right, she is. I'm looking right now. With you being a queen of diamonds, then this is so perfect, because what you're doing is you providing a queenship for her. It just flipped so quick. And as a child, she is in need. She's sensitive and unusual. Be kind to them and verbally acknowledge their wonderfulness, so that they don't think that they have to buy friendship. They teach the rest of us how to be a friend. They are kind, loving, and generous. So that's what we get to know about her. And then I was looking at you too, young queen, and you are like a little adult as a child. You are so smart, perceptive, and intuitive, and you needed to be recognized for who you were, who you are. And it says here that you cannot treat them as children. Give them opportunities to develop any interest that they have. They can literally learn and do anything. So infinitely, you got the power of the universe at your hand. So being able to be present to this young queen, the thing that we know inside of the destiny is that when you're a suit, as a feminine energy, you are the queen of that suit. So you naturally hold that seat, and you are showing her, just by your being in her space, how to hold that seat. So she'll get an opportunity by you knowing, like you said, what a young being needed. In that you were talking about yourself, but infinitely we all the same being. So she's a little diamond. That's all it is. You were a little diamond. And so now you're queen, and you hold the queen space so she can know how to be inside of that. And then you also elevate yourself to the next level, because now that puts you in a kingship, because you're building and utilizing the tools to support a kingdom. So everybody in your suit, please hear this. Whatever suit you are, you now, as we're doing this level of work, are holding the energy of the king of that suit. So since we're little babies in that, we can look at what does the king of each of our respective suits need as a young person, so we can nurture ourselves at that level. And so since we're talking about you, Aaron, I already said it. Oh, no, I did not say it, excuse me. Children with this birth card are extremely intelligent and innovative, and usually bossy. They need things to happen fast because their mind works at light speed. Teach them how to communicate with grace and listen to others, and how to express their feelings. So that seems like how you'll be inside of this at your best, knowing to communicate with grace, being able to listen to others and express your feelings. And we're all taking that energy in too. So thank you for sitting in that space.
Wow, I love this. Thank you, Icha. That's powerful.
Most definitely.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What book are you reading from, sis?
Absolutely. Let me hold this up for you. Can you see this? This is The Course
Okay.
of Destiny, and this is by Sharon Jeffers. May the Lord be pleased with her soul, because she transitioned. I promise you, I was trying to call that bitch. My
I was
phone
like,
stuff
Each,
don't
I
work
think
like
she
that.
died 2 years ago. Each just say, no.
Girl, I said, Jesus! You know,
You know how you can do that, right?
uh-huh.
Tap into it? Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well, no, you can a white candle with her picture
thank you.
and focus on it.
Thank you very much.
If you really want to
And
call
some
it, if you
water.
really, really.
And some
I went
water.
into the ethers, and I just got
Don't forget the water.
Thank you for the water. I went into the ethers because this information is ultimately our information. And one of the downloads that I received is that people have been holding our information on our behalf. Thank you, sister. And they wrote the books so we don't have to write them. Thank you so much. And infinitely, we are every system. We literally are the master key, period, end of sentence. So in the knowing of that, I closed my eyes and I said, thank you. You surrendered it. I receive it. So she passed the baton. It was like we was running that 440 relay. I took the anchor leg on that bitch. Damn, I got it.
And the same thing happened with Robert Kemp. Because Eacher did reach out to them and he was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. And she was like, what?
It's very beautiful the way that things are unfolding, because you get an opportunity to see the native grace and the native energy that we have, the undulation of spirit that creates everything out of nothing. That literally is who we actually are. Not figuratively, not no slick shit to say. That's actually who we are. These are actual facts. And so in the knowing of these actual facts, we get an opportunity to act inside of them.
That's powerful. Yes. All right, Marlene, what you got for us? You have your debriefs. What do you have? 1, 2?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the only one I have is Zach. She read Cece's last week.
Okay.
Okay. He says, what I learned this week was breathing is way more powerful than I thought, and we barely even use it. I always knew breathing can help people relax, but I just thought it was overblown or something. I'm starting to see that while it does help us calm down, there are different levels to that. I never thought breathing could be something as powerful or as cool as that. I've done the breathing techniques a couple of times this week, mostly only when I got stressed. And I can honestly say it was really cool. 100%. It was pretty easy. I find it extremely interesting in the first video about how the doctor could change his hand temperature or blood pressure. I think I'm going to read more.
Wow. Now, what do you hear in that?
Well, I hear that he was in discovery, that he was excited about his discovery, and that he was going to use his discovery to his benefit and begin to breathe that way, because that was not the way he learned to breathe. And he knows that that is the correct breath now.
Yeah. And then what's his card? Do you know his card?
Yeah, I looked at it. I believe on the thing, his birthday is May the 13th. So I was just looking at him. He is
we didn't put it in
diamonds.
there. So we got another 6 of diamond. Wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's the same as
Who?
Let me see if it's right though. I'm checking his birthday.
Yeah, because I didn't have an entry for oh wait a minute.
Yeah, he sent it to me.
Oh,
I put it in. You see it?
Tell me what you have, because I want to make sure that I have this.
Okay, wait, because I whatever's in there, I put it in there. Let me see what we got. But I think it was May the 13th because he just had a birthday.
All right, let me look and see. Let me
I'm
look
doing
and
it.
see. I will look just now.
And London's birthday, her birthday is the same day as KK, so she's the three of clubs too.
Who is KK, baby?
Michaela, my great granddaughter.
Nice. You said May the 13th?
Yeah, I'm thinking. I'm looking. I'm looking while you looking.
Now, this is so interesting because he's a six of diamonds, and I have no idea why I have him listed as a four of diamonds. So I,
Well, wait though. Let me make sure his birthday is. I mean that it's right.
okay. I,
Birthday. Okay, it's the 15th. 15th.
oh, his birthday is May the 15th?
Yes.
Okay, that would have him be a four of diamonds.
Okay.
Oh, cool. He's my planetary ruling card. Let's look and see this four of diamonds, what they need when they're young people. Alrighty, so stability and values. As a child, this birth card can easily become an overachiever. This is
Mm.
okay as long as it comes from a place of balance. These kids are highly intelligent and creative and thinks in terms of organization from early on. They need to be surrounded by beauty and harmony. They are highly sensitive to their environment, though they may not show it. So the way that this is showing up, what I heard in him was pure creativity and curiosity and excitement. That's what I was hearing. And one of
Yeah.
the things that I'm very present to, with this being my planetary ruling card, now I have an actual connection to what that planetary ruling card energy and feel like. Because when I look at what that child needed as a young person, I could see that that's what was necessary for creativity to come forward. So as we nurture and support and be the energy around Zach, his community, his creativity is really going to blossom. I'm so joyful that we're getting to know these young people at this level because this is so transcendental.
Yes, transcendental. Yeah, well, Zach, I mean, Zach and I are like really cool because he's the Lord of the Rings fanatic, as am I. And
Yes,
so we were like, it's just like awesome. I mean, I love my people. I love everybody, but I love my people.
I know that's right. You better say that shit.
So Isha, did you have any? So London is attempting to participate. Um,
I'm gonna put her in the group because I got her thing now. We're friends. I unless each have put her in already.
I didn't put her in, but I think she's already in. What's the hiccup with her participation? Oh, it's 11:11. Everybody, the angels are speaking.
Yeah, she is Wi-Fi-less off and on. This weekend she was away camping or doing something, but anyway, she didn't have Wi-Fi access. She doesn't have a telephone, and so her getting on the internet is haphazard. But we communicate through Messenger and email.
Okay.
So, and what else did she tell me? Um, I told her about it, buddy. She still hasn't responded as to whether or not she's sending her debrief. But I do know she has her exercises in Sekou. Did not respond as to whether he's sending his first week's debrief either. So, but
Okay.
other than that, all is well.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. What did you say her card is again? Let me get present to her.
three.
Her,
Oh,
her birthday is 10/19.
she's a three of club. She's
Oh,
a
three
three.
o'clock.
Yeah, she's three of clubs. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Okay. So let's just look right quick as we have this availability here. So you said October the 19th and her being at 3 o'clock. All righty. Let's see. What do she need? All righty. These children need a lot of physical activity and opportunities to be creative. So she would put a lot of stuff in her space because she needs the opportunity to create ways to do whatever. All right.
Yeah.
Their insecurity and indecisiveness can be balanced by sports, dance, martial arts, and other physical disciplines. They are very smart and highly creative. So art classes are important if the child is interested. Talk to them and get them to share their feelings with you. then empathize with them, create good boundaries for them, and then let them think for themselves within that structure. This will teach them to be decisive and discerning. So she actually is creating a lot right now. I'm privy to some of her internal workings inside of her family connection, because I know intimately, you know, we know Reese. I just spent some time with Sharisa. And so as far as her being able to have independence, she working through that right now. She is being the most benevolent young person that I've seen, because she's really created a situation where her family is acting in a way that could cause her to make a hard left. And she's staying balanced in the midst of it. She's staying balanced. So what we can say is that we know that since she has a desire to participate, we know her, the beings that are around her. And so we know that she's in. That's what I can say for that. And that we will hold space, because that's where our power lies. I stopped myself just then because I was going to say, we'll just hold space like it's a resort to. That's where our power lies. That's the first response. So we're holding space because we already know what is transpiring. And even when we don't know at a knowing level, like in our mind, we know. And we emphatically know. So that's where we get to hold the space and really exercise and telepathize our energy. So when we are out of communication, we get a great opportunity to telepathize our energy. And that's where our power is at this next level. So
that's so great, Icha. So I'm gonna make a magical request that we create our circle of wealth, and then on individual piece of paper, write their name and stick it on there. Like literally write with whatever our writing hand is, write their name, print their name, whatever, take a piece of tape, put it on it and stick it on the circle as compared to you writing it out. And what this does is generates more moments of being and sending energy to them.
So say that again, Moo. Can you share that one more time?
Yeah. So when you create how we create the circle of wealth?
Yes.
And you know how we put points on it? So some people will have 4 points, depending on how many children, 6 points, whatever that looks like. And then individually write their name out. And if you want to go next level, put what their card is. And then tape it to thank you, Yushez, right? So you write the circle, and then where that point is, you put a piece of paper with their name on it after you've written it down.
Like a Post-it.
Yes, like a Post-it. If you want to use a Post-it, I don't have Post-it. I'm gonna have to do it with some tape. But anyway, you get what I'm saying? And then individual, and if you want to use different colors, whatever, because we literally, I'm gonna tell you how I operate with you all. Each time, each one of you came into my space, I literally did a ritual with the universe to acknowledge you coming into the space and to honor our relationship and our growth and development, and to say that I would love you unconditionally, and I connected a string to you. And then when you're in any kind of whatever, I send energy down that string like it's a conduit. You're in.
It is.
Yes, it is. And I send you energy. I send it to you. And so I want you to do the same. And Nita and I talked a little bit about this when we did that whole thing about the circle of wealth. But it's a real energy to connect them to you. Because if you think about it, these may be young people that you are influencing for the rest of their life.
True. While we're on this, Icha Seku's birthday is 6/11, and I see him as a 6 of diamonds because he's not in the chart. His card is not in there.
Oh,
but
that's my daughter's birthday.
Huh?
That's my daughter's birthday. 6.
Is it? 6'11".
Oh, that's
Oh yeah, okay. So he's who
She's
we were talking
5'13".
about. Yeah, we were talking about what your daughter's energy as a 6 of diamond was.
you said
Right.
6'11"
And
is her
that she's grown. Yeah, Sekou is, but again, as I say, he did call me and eventually like reach out because I have been persistent in reaching out as well as sending energy that way. So, but yeah, he's musically inclinated, so he's all about his music. I put his new email in there too, versus his mama's.
That's powerful. I love what we're doing. I'm actually, as we're getting this together, I'm getting ready to go to Coach's Craft Circle.
So before we leave, guys, let me say this. Do you all see how Lord, okay, I was just putting that in. Do you all see how Nene is participating with us? Yes, no?
Well, I can't. She kind of told us last week.
I said, do you see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I see it? Well, I'm just only going. Yeah, I see. Yes, I see it.
Yes.
And then I was thinking.
Do you see the participation of her people?
Yes.
They are non-existent, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what the intention is. Can you see that that's creating that? So I'm requesting that we all send energy to Nene. Like, okay, not necessarily to pull her in or anything, but whatever energy she needs to stabilize. And then yesterday she put up a course about teaching, being an intimacy coach. Let me tell you that every time you put yourself out as a teacher,
Lord,
you are going to be deeply, this is why we work on integrity first. We work on our own alignment first, because you will be deeply challenged in the area that you are teaching. And you also are asked to teach what it is you need to learn. So it's a double-edged sword there. So we want to hold her up. We want to surround her with energy, protection, support. This is why when Kelly put herself out there, you know, I was making the same request. People were calling me, God, why did we're all going to do that. We're all going to put ourselves out there. That's what we have to do. We're not to stay inside a master force. The whole world is waiting on every single one of us. So we want to send energy to her, so that, because if she's not connecting here, that means she's probably not connected in a lot of different spaces. You see that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So do that inside of Love and Light for her, and make sure you share her post. Her it's on the Master Force page, and yeah. So this is exciting times, and I'm grateful that we can do the work at this level of depth, so that we can see ourselves inside of our young people as well as each other. Right?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else before we close out?
Yeah. So, okay. So I'm going to reach out again. I totally hear, as you know, as we were talking about our connection and holding a space for everybody. I was there writing like, okay, and you do get, when as soon as you put out the intention of what you want to do, how, you definitely, you know, things, it does like the wall start closing in on you, like, okay, I get it. So yes, I get it with the communication. I know what type of communicator I am, and I just realized that some of the relationships that I've had lately is because that whole circle of wealth, I finally see, and they weren't thinking about how it connects to this because other people was just, I had to cut a friend boyfriend off. And I didn't want our relationship to be destroyed because of him, because of him, the way he just, right, whatever. And I can see how it hurts her. So my protector is like, I'm going to defend her, but I'm like, no, I can't defend her because it's not my problem. Because I'm going to be her friend where I can. However, it also brought me back into a space of who I am. I'm a communicator. I am. Back in 2003, my spirit told me, and now I called it God at the time. God said, I am to write. I am to write, and I'm supposed to write. I'm supposed to write and talk. If I write and talk, what am I supposed to do, and how am I want to get my message across to people, right? So that's where I pulled back yesterday, like, okay, I let too much energy come in, like with the whole thing with the circle of wealth. I let too much come in without me connecting to them, to the point that when I connected to them, it became some people are not ready to connect on the levels I was ready to be connected on. And I think that's how I pulled back and think, and I saw how I pretty much got jumped on basically yesterday with this person. He actually, for the last month or so, how I just got like attacked or whatever. But I see it now when I saw like, oh, and then other things just started coming up for me. So now I see it with the circle of wealth. That is so important because we are forming new business partnerships. There's things that I've seen, just like what you said, things that we want, things that start coming out like, okay, how are you going to present this to the world when you can't even gather the people in your circle to be what you want them to be, because they don't know how to approach you, as Marlene just said. They don't know how you approach you. And then the ones that do approach me come with this like, I'm going to you're going to listen to what I have to say and you're going to let me do it. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. I wasn't ready for this.
Well, that's so powerful, Sandy. That's so powerful. Thank you. And I'm sure more and more revelations will come forward. I remember when my daughter was 6 or 7 years old, and we lived in Schaumburg, and she invited her girlfriends over, 2 white girls that she played with, to come and play with her in her room. And she had the whole American Doll collection. And when it was time for them to go home, she told them to come help her clean up. And the one girl said, I won't help you clean up. Tia was like, Tia was adamant. She's a Libra, so you're going to clean my shit up, right? So the girl didn't help her, so she went to the girl's mother's car.
I remember that.
And wrote the girl's name with a piece of metal on this mother's car, and then said that the other little white girl did it. Lord, when Summer's mother came over, Tia got a whooping for lying because she told the truth right away. Summer said, I didn't do that. Tia did that. Tia said, I got it. So she got a whooping for that. Then the girl's mother, Jackie's mother, came over. Jackie said, I said, listen, we'll pay for it. Jackie's mother said, I'm going to take it tomorrow. I said, go get an estimate. We'll pay for it. Her dad came and whooped her for that. Tia, when I went in Tia's room that night, she said, I'll never do anything like that again. I'm so sorry. I realized that I literally was suppressing anger within myself.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I am not showing my daughter how to deal with anger. I am suppressing it. And listen, it is no small thing to be with our emotions. They are our power. And if we don't do that work, it's going to come out some kind of way because it's the work of the soul.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not trying to hurt us.
It's
helping us to grow.
Yep.
Thank you, Moo. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you.
So I just want y'all to know that we want to let it in and flow. You don't want to let it in and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Flow. And the more you let it flow, the more you release the need to protect yourself. Be willing to be hurt. There's no fucking such thing.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, I just want to tell you, when you decide to,
I'm sorry.
when you decide to wear your heart on your sleeve as a servant to the universe, you know, it's a conscious decision, and it's a requirement that you be willing to shed others' conversations who are uncomfortable with their emotions, internal emotions. Because the short version again is back in the space where I was in, you know, like I finally allowed myself to cry. Like, you know, I can move a truck and do whatever and still be shedding big tears or whatever. But my emotional vulnerability when I would come back from weekends was so huge that it scared people, because they had never seen that type of release, or someone who was unwilling, who was unafraid, or just didn't care what snot and tears looked like. Because
I know that's right.
Because the experience that I had, I needed to convey that, and that's how it affected me. And that's when I enrolled the most people in everything I did, when I was at my snot and weepingest, most vulnerable. I don't want y'all to see this part of me, but here it is. So
yeah,
you know, I don't hold no emotion for no reason at no time, no matter where I am, no matter who I'm with.
That's the doctor right there.
That's the doctor.
The doctor has spoken.
Yes. Wow. Thank you.
I love you guys so much.
I love y'all too.
I love y'all.
Because my ride is coming for me.
So okay.
Great.
I have to go as well.
Is it you have a scarf on
too.
because it's that cold? Is it that cold in Chicago?
No, babe.
You know, I was gonna say something.
So what?
What'd she say?
What'd you say, baby?
I was so looking at that scarf. I was like, wait a minute, it's like 90 plus down here.
It's like 2,000 degrees up here.
Let a bitch rock out for a second. Let a bitch rock out. Let me say something. Okay?
All right, we just don't want you to overheat.
I'm gonna tell you.
You just fly. That's in
utilizing,
case she gotta fly somewhere. That's gonna help the wind.
Right.
That's
how cool she
desert
is.
Science. Can you hear that?
Yes.
What'd you say?
Desert science. That's right, boo.
Got it.
Desert science. Can you hear that? I'm utilizing desert science.
Yeah.
So in the desert, you cover your hot self up.
Yes,
and that's how you stay cool, baby. And
you stay cool.
That's right.
A hot beverage.
That's right.
To cool yourself. So I utilize the desert science right now. And on top of that, I'm a fly bitch.
I'm loving that hat, nigga. You're gonna have to give us some of that hat.
Bitch will wear $1,000 scarf and a $1 hat.
Stop. Come on.
Yeah.
Boom, shakalaka, boom.
Store. I got my hat at the dollar store. I think it's the cutest, funnest little hat.
I love it, guys. All right, guys.
Yay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Mandy. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you.
Guys. Thank you. Oh, and each of can you all send a picture of a visual for the Circle of Wealth later at some point today?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
And also post in the group when you get to Craft Corner. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, love. I love y'all.
Love you.
Love you too.
All right, peace.
Okay.